Hello everybody, welcome to KSI Data Research. Welcome to Data Analytics Data Science Classroom.
Today's tips, I'm going to discuss just very tiny mistake we do at the beginning level when we try to write the query. So I'm going to address those tiny uh, mistake in our query we do, and I will show you. All right, so let's share the screen. And I'm going to open the SQL Server. Okay, so this is our SQL Server. So I need to connect with this is our SQL Server, SSMS, Management System. I'm going to just connect with the database. So connect. So this is the connecting with the database, and you can see all the table right here. So if I try to get one of the query from here, and if I just wanted to see the table inside the database HR schema. So if inside the HR schema, there are a number of tables. Okay, so there are all kind of employee tables, department, other tables. So if I wanted to see that data from the employee table, I have to write select all from employee. Okay, so if I execute these tables, and I will see some error. So this invalid object name employee. So when it happens, that means the employee table are not getting from the HR schema, because in order to get the data from the employee table, our table has to be in a available database place over here. So this is, we can do it manually, just dropping the HR schema. So now if I execute this table, we'll be able to see the data. Okay, so these are the basic mistake we do at the beginning. So we can also write use HR schema. So that code will help you to get the HR schema. By default, always open with the master database right here. Okay, so always open with the master database right here. All right, so what are the second thing? We comes first, we sometime create the database. Okay, so if I try to create the database, I have to write create database. Then we can give the database name KSI data. If I just write like that, if I execute this to create the database, you'll see the again incorrect syntax near data. Okay, so why it is happening? Because when we try to create the database tables, column name always has to be one word. Okay, so if I want it, we can put the underscore over here, or we can put it inside the square bracket, or we can put the double quotation. So then it will be fine and you will be execute the code. All right, so this is another mistake happen. If you try to put the gap over here, it will not work. Okay, so always better to have a one word over here. Okay, so what are the second things we can say? Say for example, I wanted to uh, take some column from the table and try to write a query. Okay, so if I just write select, take few columns. So first name, comma, last name, comma, and then maybe salary, comma, from employee. Employees. Okay, so if I uh, from this table, I just wanted to take first name, last name, and salary. 3 column from the table, and then try to execute, and I see also is giving the errors. Incorrect syntax near keyword from. Okay, so these are the things, very tiny error, and it can happen sometime. So you have to make sure you put the comma right. If I started with the comma, so this is extra. The last one, we should not put the comma, because the last one English also we do not put any comma. So all the column we can put comma over here, then it will be fine. Okay, so then we can get the data. So if you do put the extra comma, it will be the problem. But if you put the comma over here, and then take the middle one, it still is going to be the problem, because of the first one, last one, the middle one doesn't have a comma. So the comma issue, this is still extra commas. If you start with the first one, the last one should not be the comma. Okay. So now if you execute over here, you see there is a 2 places do not have a comma. So one of the salad, the first one and the last one, they are thinking about the last name. The salary is I mean the last name is missing over here. Did you see that? There is a first name and the salary. The last name, I did not put the comma, so that's why the last name didn't show up. Okay, so there is a you can see the data, but sometimes the comma, you have to pay really attention. There are missing comma. It could be the error message, or if you have extra comma or missing comma, sometime you'll see no data or no column over there inside the query, no column. You will not get the results for all the column. Here you can see the 3 column over here, but we have only 2 results over here. Okay, because of the missing comma. All right, missing comma or extra comma, these are the things we have to pay attention. All right, sometime if I just have a right data set over here, we have a right comma everywhere. No, say comma, comma, and then if I execute now, it's not a problem. Okay, so now if I wanted to put some alias with this query, so say for example, the first name over here, I wanted to put as some kind of first name, different way we wanted to represent. See, first name. Okay, the first name as last name. Okay, or salary, maybe you can put income. Okay, income. Okay, so you can see the quotation I put because of the gap. There is a gap, that's why I have to put the single quotation. But when you put the one word, you don't need a quotation, but it still is not going to run, because it has a problem in incorrect syntax near. These are the very tiny issue. Still it is a problem with the comma, because when we put the alias, the comma should be at the end. Okay, so you have to put the comma at the end. So take this comma off and you have to put it at the end. Okay, so the last one, we do not put any comma. So if you execute now, you'll see the data coming right, and all the alias is a first name, last name, and income. You can see the alias, you change the column representation. Okay, so this is the tiny mistake, comma, and then, gap, these are the things you need to pay attention, and then put the right database in the right place. Okay. Sometimes if I wanted to try to filter from here, what we can do, see, look over here. If I just say, for example, the first name is a Nina. Okay. So I wanted to put only the value of Nina. So if I write where first name equals to uh, Nina. So if I execute that, see, if I execute that, it will not execute. Okay. So invalid column name near Nina. Okay, so if I take any data from the, inside the database, let's see, here is a Nina is right here, it's try to taking the Nina from the first name column. So these are the string, these are the character. So if I wanted to filter anything from the database or from the table, and then we have to put it in a single quotation. This Nina has to be put it in a single quotation. So it should be inside the single quotation. Okay. So now if I execute, you will get only the value of Nina. Okay. So remember that the table name, column name, uh, and then database name, you do not put any single quotation, but when try to filter it from inside the table, we have to put single quotation. Okay, for the SQL server we have to put the single quotation. These are the very basic issue sometimes we create, but just for the beginner this should be helpful. So these are very tiny mistake, but it can happen to you also. Okay, so these are the tips I wanted to show you at the beginning. More tips I'll start put it in a more good tips and coming new tips as coming future. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. If you like to have more tips in the field of SQL, Power BI, Python for machine learning, advanced Excels, subscribe our channel. Also, if you like to join free webinar, follow our Facebook page and website. Please check the link below in the description. Thank you again.